the offensive strength that they bring to bear. But the fact that we've only seen them each once in the upper bracket kind of leaves a big question mark in terms of their defenses. What will their bases look like? They haven't had to fight 15 battles already like the teams that we saw previously. Maybe they're holding on to something even trickier or more surprising. Well, either way, it's going to be light off with the first attack for N.Y.Amazing. Yesterday, he used P.E.K.K.A. Smash to get a 3-star hit against Inquisition, and he's bringing the P.E.K.K.A. Smash back once again with a Warden Walk. Slow but effective start for this hit.
Yeah, I find it interesting because Light tends to use the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, and yet he is a base builder for N.Y.Amazing, and he said specifically that he tries to defend air. So it's really interesting that he then uses ground attacks himself. That Grand Warden Walk, getting a good start on the right-hand side of the base, just helping that funnel, now drawing across as all of the P.E.K.K.A. are deployed. They will be able to get that Eagle Artillery down pretty quickly, and you can notice 2 jump spells would give him access all of the way up towards that Town Hall.
Big entry point here and a great positioning for that Grand Warden, catching nearly all of the troops with that Eternal Tome. Fantastic invincible protection on the interior, but that's a really tiny compartment to have to pass through. 3 spells are dropping left and right, and he can't keep these units corralled, but they are still going in for maximum effect as best they can. Slow down a tad from that enemy CC, but they are hopping over walls and trying to make it to those key targets. That single target Inferno burning through, and he's just trying to make sure that no heroes get locked on. Archer Queen will be able to pop it down next, and the attack from Light is looking great.
It certainly is, with that Queen ability left over and the Royal Champion ability. We have seen numerous examples of how important it is to have those heroes up at the end and even have the abilities. The fact that he has a free spell for these final defenses is even better. With a minute left, Woody, you can see the Seeking Shield pinging through the defenses. Royal Champion will target the multi-target Inferno, whilst everything else can surround the rest of the buildings. And overwhelming 3-star to kick this one off for the fan favorites, N.Y.Amazing.
Light was a participant last year in 2020 Worlds qualifiers, and he has really shown up again this year with another fantastic performance. Has a lot of fans out there in the Chinese community, and they're going to be cheering him on for that 3-star success to start things out. N.Y.Amazing might be the number 2 seeded team, but going first and getting that crucial hit off can set a strong tone for the rest of the war.
They might be the number 2 seed, but they did have the higher stats in the pre-qualifier. They also have a very experienced roster. Their team captain, Su, was actually the captain of Nishang Dance last year, and that, well, explains itself. They were so impressive. Devastation for them in the grand final, but we will see how they have regrouped with N.Y.Amazing. We have Vic of J.X. Tiger, though. He did use the P.E.K.K.A. Smash yesterday, and he did get the 3-star with it, showing the favoritism of this attack strategy within the Chinese community.
Vic also answered our player questionnaire before the matches began, saying that he really looks forward to competing against his good friends on N.Y.Amazing. Will he be able to outwit them, or will he fall short? Another P.E.K.K.A. Smash strat really showing that the metagame has been segmented by region. Chinese players really strongly preferring these ground-based attacks, despite the European teams more favoring aerial assaults.
How will that impact if any of these teams, or the losing team, will face Inquisition, being a German-based team? But looking at this attack, we do know that the Grand Warden Walk tends to be a little bit slow to start off, but it sets up a very nice funnel. The interesting thing about this is there's always slight variations in the P.E.K.K.A. Smash. Sometimes we see the Battle Blimp moving across to the Town Hall, depending on the entry. Other times we see the Log Launcher, as in this situation, and it means he doesn't have to use as many jump spells, just 1 jump in order to guarantee access to the Town Hall, so he can maximize on rage spells, Woody, as he's getting through the main damage area of the base right now, the core, and in towards that Town Hall compartment.
I love this log! Rage spells stacked up on top of this whole clump as they path through so many compartments of the base, and the last jump spell is out. He even got into that right side compartment with his heroes and cracking into the left side now with the Royal Champion. This is the perfect squeeze, the big Papa Bear hug. He is shaking straight to the core and gonna take down this Town Hall very next. 1 minute for cleanup on the outer edges to try to get all the way up to the 3rd star, but I just love the attack strategy, the planning for this hit. Really well done job for Vic.
Wow, he has made this look easy. And despite the P.E.K.K.A going down to the Giga Poison, the fact that the Town Hall was the last defense, or one of the last defenses anyway, means that it really doesn't matter. He's got the heroes left over, particularly that Royal Champion sideswiping the base to finish things off. And then it's all down to cleanup with 30 seconds remaining. It will be another 3-star in this war. Exactly what we expected in this epic show match. No one cracking under the pressure on the first attacks, but still plenty more to go, Woody.
Quick hits and no wasting time with swag abilities or spells. They know that the tiebreaker going down to total attack time is something that weighs in the back of their mind. Vic from J.X. Tiger will hold pace against N.Y.Amazing. This head-to-head match for a spot in the finals is getting even hotter, Judo.
It certainly is. The fact that they guarantee either a golden or silver ticket must mean a huge amount for them. And the fact that they know, like you said, they could lose one of the matches in that grand final due to the double elimination is just a massive factor. So we'll find out what happens now, but interestingly, switching it up to the skies for this one, the Hydra attack, very much what we have seen in that previous matchup. An early Grand Warden ability with the double rage is typically what we see to push the balloons forward ahead of the dragons, try and pick off any of the Seeking Air Mines as they are brilliantly in the center of the base, and just assure that you get everything within that ability.
This is the same attack strategy that Neon brought yesterday. He is one of the attackers with a 100% hit rate for the monthly plea qualifiers, and boy, is he gonna keep pace in this August month. He's gonna encounter that tornado trap with the battle blimp right next to the Town Hall, though. Not gonna lose a whole lot of momentum from it. Keeps his dragons and balloons on pace right there in the bottom side. He did lose that Grand Warden, though, and that life ore can be really helpful pathing through the back end of this base. Neon has lost a big leg up, but with dragons able to fly over those walls, he might yet be able to get the triple here after all. Still a big air defense in the right side corner and that multi defending in the top right. There's more than I would typically like to see, but in his favor, he's holding on to 3 hero abilities and a free spell to add on.
He also has the poison in order to slow down the enemy king, which is going to be a huge factor. The heroes battling the defending heroes is such a tough task for you, but the fact that he can use the spells in order to help, and he's got so many of them to just surround the Barbarian King, even has the dragons left over, means this is all but guaranteed at this point. We're just waiting of the result to come in, but it is another 3-star for N.Y.Amazing, keeping the triples going, and it's back to J.X. Tiger to put on their show. Both of these clans know each other within the Chinese community, so it really is a battle of the top. Who is going to be the first one that can defend with one of their bases? Bit of a Pyrrhic victory for the Barbarian tribe there. The king going down and about a dozen of them getting jettisoned off by a spring trap. But Nyan knows that the archer does not lament the loss of any arrow. Sending full force at that base, gets that 3-star and will pack it up to go home. Successful. Return trip now for Jia. Tiger will be trying to hold on with another 3-star. That's what they need to keep it going against N.Y.Amazing. And they have once again brought the log launcher. Judo? Really interesting to see this alongside the Queen Charge. When the log launcher was first released, I did think we would see it used alongside Queen Chargers, particularly lengthy Queen Chargers, in order to help get her access into the base and potentially even further on. But the fact that he's entering in the Town Hall section does make me question where he's going to use it. Maybe just to snipe off the Eagle artillery compartment, for example. We will have to wait and see that. Now, the thing I find interesting is he only started playing in 2018, Woody. Often we see veterans within Clash of Clans, but it just shows you only need a couple of years of playing, and if you really work hard, you can get to this stage.
Yeah, we love making new friends. We'll keep the old, but Ja is ready just the same as the rest of them. And hey, as soon as you get up into Legend League and you're practicing 8 hours a day like some of these guys do, you are really quickly going to develop the skills necessary to get the victory. Every metagame is different, and as the new Town Hall has come out, there are lots of new strategies to learn and master. Ja is certainly among those who have mastered this Queen Charge Dragon Rider strike, having picked up the 3-star yesterday against Orilla Davitan using it, and will have a great spread going straight through that top down to the bottom left side for that counterclockwise push. A couple of Seeking Air Mines popping off against these Dragon Riders, and some Skelly Traps triggering for an air defense as well. Not giving him an easy time here, are they, Judo?
Certainly not, but he is getting through this base pretty well. Switch to the Battle Blimp, which has worked out perfectly to just pick off that 9 o'clock area. Has the Archer Queen distracted over there, so the Royal Champion can sweep in and just throw her shield into the back, take her down with the Queen ability left over. It is again going to be the 3-star. He has lots of minions around, doesn't have to worry about time, and it is really interesting to me that we've had 2 attacks ground, 2 attacks air. It's tough for the players to predict what is coming and how to defend that. It's almost the polar opposite of the last war, where we were almost waiting of the bait for a specific strategy. If teams are mixing it up, it's so much more difficult.
Well, perfect wars so far from both N.Y.Amazing and J.X. Tiger. This is starting to be the point, though, where teams will start to slip and falter. Both J.X. Tiger and N.Y.Amazing took a miss in the mid-war yesterday with a 2-star on their 3rd or 4th attack. So this is where things start to really get dicey. The players who are most confident typically going in first and getting those hits off to begin with, giving a little bit more time for the more tricky bases for later hits. But with the mid-war now, we are going to see Sue attacking next. You gave a shout out to him earlier as a former captain of Nishang Dance, and he will be bringing a tried and true tested strategy, the Queen Charge Dragon Riders, starting in from the top corner here with easy access to the Town Hall. Oh, Tesla Trap popping up, though. Is that going to give him any pause? No, I think he's got a pretty good handle on it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty happy with that, actually, just to get it out of the way really early on. He did use the Queen Charge into Hybrid yesterday. It was actually one of my favorite attacks, even though he didn't 3-star, because he lost his Queen right at the start and fixed it with the Grand Warden to the Town Hall. It was actually a genius recovery, but he is entering well away from the clan castle on this one, meaning that he has a little bit of time to assure his Queen gets extra value before she engages any of the troops. And again, this is what we have been seeing a little bit, starting the Queen walk up by the Town Hall, just strip apart some of the defenses and buildings in front of the Town Hall and walk the Queen around to the adjacent compartment.
Dueling Queens on the right corner gets a free spell out from Sue to keep his healthy. He also adds on an additional rage to keep those healers on task. She will pop in against that multi-target Inferno. And can she take it down before she engages the CC troops? No. Yes, actually she does. All right, we'll retarget now onto that Lava Hound. And with the poison to help her out, those Headhunters are not going to be the end of her run.
Looking beautiful here. Just using the wall wrecker to be relatively safe getting into that Town Hall. But look at this. The Barbarian King has gone across there. What is in that clan castle? Presumably sneaky goblins, so they will just ignore the Barbarian King, get the Town Hall. And I love how he has crafted a path for his Archer Queen to get right into the middle. The fact that he started the Dragon Riders this early as well means that they can help to just force the Queen into that central compartment where the scatter shot is.
I don't know what you mean by early, Judo. This is feeling pretty late to me, and I'm starting to get a little bit worried about a time fail here. Now, he's got a minute left, and he's only passed through half the base. I will say, he's still got a solid shot here, but I like to see an early drop with that main army by the 1 minute mark. Su is going to be cutting it close here toward the end. He still has a lot of offensive capabilities left to leverage here with this phase, cracking into that left side compartment with that Yak. Dragon Rider is going to be able to knock down a few more key targets there. Freeze spell is out to support this Royal Champion. And an invisibility as well. Needs to get maximum value for her. A second one to keep her topped off and healthy before she pops that shield out. Going to knock down a few more for that cleanup to commence. 28 seconds left to finish it off. It's looking good.
It certainly does with that Queen ability. You can pop that to help her get through any of the walls. Royal Champion will be taking down those defenses. He does cut it relatively fine on time, to be honest with you, but he has got this in the bag, sending those Dragon Riders to keep the Queen charging through the middle. Actually building at the other side of the base.
No
Tesla!
way.
Oh my goodness! Is that the clutch play? Wow! The final second, the Town Hall 7 strategy nearly paid off at the highest level of Clash of Clans.
I was getting ready to call that the triple after the cleanup looking great, but as soon as those troops started pathing toward the right side corner, I was like, are they going to be able to reach it there in time? No haste or rage to throw on to try to help him out. So it was a race against the clock, and that came down to the final second, a 2-minute and 59-second hit. But hey, a triple's a triple, and they are going to stay on the board in this race. Slow strike, though. At what point do we start talking about the total time spent in the attack as a potential tiebreaker?
Well, I think the teams always have to go safe. They just have to go for the 3 stars and have confidence in their bases. But we do see when wars come down to the time, so it should factor in the minds of the players a little bit. We've still got half of the war to go, so there's still plenty of opportunity. But with the talent of these players, it's not out of the realms of possibility, shall we say that? And that could be a factor, given that we've seen some quicker attacks from J.X. Tiger.
Early dive by Ren here in the bottom is going to talk some sense into that Town Hall. Gets the CC pull as well, and that is not going to leave any work for the Siege Machine to try to take that out. Still holding onto that Stone Slammer instead for the backside of this Sui La Lone charge. King Ren managed to get the 3-star yesterday with Dragon Riders, so no stranger to the skies, but mixing it up with a lot of different spells to help out this time. Rages, Haste, Skellies, and those freeze spells as well. Brought 2 poison spells to handle the heroes and the CC within as well there, Judah.
Yeah, just not sure what's going to be inside there in terms of whether it's the super minions, the headhunters. You can always use that poison onto the defending heroes as well, depending on your entry point. So, you know, it could have used other spells, but some people do prefer to go with the double poison. However, entering the lava loon directly in towards the eagle compartment, always a good choice. Get that down early on. It can really do damage onto a group of balloons. And you see the delayed lava loon deployment to the left-hand side. Doesn't have to worry too much about pathing over there. The big group of balloons will merge down, but it means everything can start attacking this final area together to maximize the damage per second.
Big path toward the back end, and that is not what you want to see if you are an archer atop that tower. Still some additional loons to jump. He's holding on to 5 more balloons, Judo. What an impressive overkill by Kyung Ren, and this is really going to set the stage well for J.X. Tiger going into the end. He is clearly very happy, all smiles around, as he has plenty of time to kick back, relax, and celebrate another 3-star strike in what is shaping up to be an extremely offensive war for both of these teams. Perfect hits from all 3 of them so far.
Certainly is. I would have liked to have seen those balloons come in a little bit quicker as we start talking about time. They are getting the 3 stars despite J.X. Tiger being arguably pretty comfortably in the lead on time, and the more the war goes on, it's obviously even more difficult to catch up. You never know when that 1 second might matter. One thing I was going to mention, though, is that is where Lava Loon gives you a little bit more flexibility. If there was a Tesla popped in the corner as per that previous attack, you can adapt, have someone on voice tell you about that Tesla. But with the Dragon Riders, once you've committed everything, you cannot change the plan. However, it's back to N.Y.Amazing GYY. He is one of the players that was part of that Nishang dance squad we mentioned last season. So let's see whether his experience can carry him through.
Yeah, that sneaky Tesla, kind of an interesting counter bait strategy. If you expect no troops to be pathing over that corner, but to maybe walk around it before the 51% mark when they all pop up. Could be an interesting tactic to try to slow things down at the end of a hit and maybe preserve the time fail defense possibility. GYY will be the next attacker, and he did also get a triple yesterday. Blizzard Dragon Riders was his preferred attack strat, and with 7 of them this time, he is going to stay hard committed to his preferred approach.
Yeah, we've seen this coming into the meta a little bit more in terms of that big investment of Dragon Riders. I think when they were first released, we tended to just see the Queen Charge Dragon Riders, and whilst it still is more of the popular approach, we are tending to see the Sui Dragon Riders as well, just getting that value initially. And if you can send 7 Dragon Riders into the base, as long as there's no major defenses, you can get a good chunk of it down with your hero dive. There's just too many of them for the rest of the defenses to deal with, and you've got to say, he's doing a phenomenal job. We're on to 25%, carving that entire side, and the fact that he's doing a hero dive and only just starting to use hero abilities, he's still got some gas left over here, but time is ticking.
A couple of invisibility spells for that Royal Champion, and she knocks down her mirror match on the other side, as well as a scatter shot. GYY, as you noted, did start a little bit late with the main phase of this attack, but he did a great job with the stage 1 entry point. It's just a question of time now. Do not want to get to that position where we are getting down to the last second like that last hit, but Barbarian King having a bit of difficulty now in the Town Hall compartment up top, spinning around to the Tornado Trap. He will be able to knock it down for the first star there, but won't be having much to say after that.
A bit fortunate that the Barbarian King rotated right next to the Town Hall, so he could pop that off and not have to worry about it. Notice he saved onto 1 Dragon Rider. That might have been able to come in clutch for the Town Hall. However, it can deal with a couple of the defenses at the top. Or I say a couple, it literally gets an Archer Tower. So he will be questioning that decision. Still a little bit more room for him to go here, but everything's stalling out, and the central single is really taking everything out here. It is a major defense for J.X. Tiger, not what was needed for N.Y.Amazing, particularly since we have been seeing 3 stars non-stop.
Yeah, this is going to be tied with the lowest percentage strike from either of these 2 teams from yesterday. We saw a 2-star 80% from Yone, and GYY will come home with the same thing this time around. The 4th and 5th hits just get so difficult for these teams trying to crack into a base that just seems impossible to face off against. GYY does avoid that potentially terrible fail by missing the Town Hall, very judiciously holding on to that Dragon Rider and making sure that the King ability popped off right when that Tornado Trap was going to allow him to still get maximum value. Taking down that first star. The second one claimed will get their total up, but this is now an opening for their opponents. JX Tiger have the chance to pull ahead.
They have to watch that replay back, but I wouldn't have thought he wanted his Archer Queen to move down to the southern area of the base like that. I'm pretty sure he would have wanted her maybe even up towards the Town Hall by the King, so I'll be interested to have a little bit of a rewatch of that one. However, moving to the next attack, it is the Zap Lalo, and I always like when we start the attack and use the lightning spells at a different stage, particularly when we are talking about time. It is helpful, but also it just means that you can get the attack rolling a little bit more, and there you see it. Lightning spells for that central multi. Queen gets the Town Hall, doesn't quite get the single target Inferno, but still pretty good value so far.
Oh yeah, she also knocked out an air defense, and with this King taking out another air defense in the top compartment, as well as 4 ground expos in this base, Jonah might have just picked the perfect target to attack with this Law Loon strike. Bringing in a Stone Slammer as well, did not have to commit a Battle Blimp to the Town Hall. He is looking very confident on this initial entry point. We'll be able to get down that Eagle Artillery and an air defense and knocking apart a Wizard Tower distracted by that Lava Hound. This entry is beautiful, Judo.
It certainly is. It looks so clean when you see a lava loon like this, doesn't it? With all of the balloons moving around, now uses that Grand Warden ability. Presumably there's some headhunters. Yes, there is. Onto that RC, so she will go down. He uses the haste over to the Stone Slammer. Can he get that single target Inferno? That would be pretty huge to help the Dragon Rider over there. But honestly, at this stage in the attack, there are so many balloons left over. There is not a lot that can go wrong. N.Y was the only player not to get the 3-star for J.X. Tiger yesterday, so the fact that he has done it so convincingly today has to be a huge momentum boost for them, as it looks very good moving into the final attack of this war. It could be within their grasp, getting to the grand final. Like I said, building their confidence to win it all, Woody.
Oh yeah, there's grabbing 3 stars, and then there's the pickup strike after your opponents miss a 2-star hit, after you managed to just get 2 stars yourself yesterday. When you get the triple, that is just the biggest swing in emotions that you can have in a Clash of Clans World Championship event. N.Y has now claimed that spot as one of the few people on Earth who know what that feels like. And I gotta say, he has gotta be proud of that last hit with a couple of free spells still left to use. An overwhelming performance with a beautifully planned hit that was flawlessly executed.
Certainly what he was. He will be on cloud 9 right now, getting themselves prepared. It is within their grasp. The final attack by N.Y.Amazing. They need a 3-star, and then they need to hope their base holds up. It is a big ask, but everything rides on this attack. 3 stars to keep them in it. Now, he did use the Queen Charge Lava Loon yesterday. He did get the 3 stars with it. Looking to repeat that performance. So far, Queen walking down to this southern area is exactly where he wants her to go. An early rage spell definitely needed alongside that Grand Warden statue, but I'm not sure if he would have wanted to commit it that early. I guess the Archer Queen is there as well, so would have needed one, would have planned a spell in that area. So far, so good though, Woody.
Yeah, taking a bit of a proc and a prod out here on the left corner. This poor Queen is getting locked on by multiple Expos now, and it requires another rage spell to get top to back off. Finishes off an enemy air defense. Very crucial target for these Laloon strikes to knock that down early, as well as that enemy Archer Queen. Eagle Artillery still standing, and he needs to crack into that compartment if he wants to get a chance at easily knocking it down. Might use the Royal Champion for it instead if this Archer Queen winds up going down for the Town Hall first. Enemy single target Inferno gets a lock on her, and that's going to be a quick free spell to try to keep her safe. Another rage, triple firepower on this Queen Charge. But what is she going to do about the Eagle and the single now activated, Judo?
Oh, this is difficult because he's having to commit a lot of spells for the Queen Charge.
Oh
there is
goodness.
the Stone Slammer just sneaking in towards the Eagle, and then he can start the Lalo. But the difficult thing about committing this many spells is that you do not have them then for the Lava Loon. So he's really going to have to hope he gets big value. However, the Royal Champion moving in alongside the Stone Slammer is actually helping out massively to get the multi. Decides to use a Rage in that area and the Grand Warden ability before even deploying the Lava Loon, Woody.
The one and only spell this Laloon gets in support is a skeleton around this scatter shot. Stab, stab, stabbing it down so that it can't cause any problems for these balloons popping up around in the sky. But I think he might just have done it. This Queen is going a little bit slow through the base, but she got maximum value. Super effective hit here from N.Y. And as long as they're able to collapse her along the right corner over there, these buildings are not going to be able to stand up long against the mighty aerial force. N.Y. is happy with how this played out. 3 stars, and N.Y.Amazing will finish this war with 14 total.
That is their victory. Oh, it's not. It's N.Y.Amazing. What am I talking about? He's done all he can in order to keep the dream alive. He did such an impressive attack that it got me all mixed up. I wanted to say I really love that, because whenever somebody does something totally not textbook, very creative, it gets me excited. The fact that he sent the Royal Champion in alongside the Grand Warden is something that you never tend to see with a Lava Loon. Just sent her directly through the middle of the base. The pathing for it was incredible. He recognized that he didn't really need many spells for the Lava Loon, and this is it. This is the attack that could win it for J.X. Tiger. Interestingly, going with the Super Witches though, Woody.
Zaps through that left side compartment early on, and with the Earthquake as well, will knock down a couple of key defenses, including a single target Inferno. Must have picked that out as a potential problem for this Queen charge in that corner. Super Witches, the first time that we have seen them today, and certainly not a popular attack strat from the previous day either. All ground offense from Mock, the last one to try to finish it off. He needs a 2-star and 81% to find victory. Super Witches historically have gone a little bit slower, and so that's a good reason to get them dropped nice and fast within the first 40 seconds, in fact, of this attack. Mock has got a big army building up in the bottom corner and 2 jump spells to hop over the compartments on the inside, relatively wide open. He's going to be taking a lot of splash damage early on from that Eagle Artillery, but if he can path through there and finish that off as well as an enemy Archer Queen, he is going to be on a path to glory. Doesn't need the 3 stars, just the 2 and 81%. I think he's got it, Judo.
It looks very good, doesn't it? He still has all of those Super Witches alive in the center of the base. Oh, well, one of them actually on the outside of the base, but normally when something goes massively wrong with the Super Witches is when they all go to the outside of the base. And the fact that he has them with the healers in the middle, it does look good. Sometimes the Super Witches can result in a lower percentage if it goes wrong, but so far so good with everything in the middle. He has so much tanking from those Super Witches. They are going to go all day long. Still has the Queen ability and a freeze. It does look good for him as the percentage is clocking up. We are right there. 80%. There is the 81. J.X. Tiger getting the victory, but can he finish off with a 3 stars? Still looking like it could happen, but everything is starting to fade out.
Yeah, there's not many troops left, but that's the story all along for Super Witches. They summon big boys out in front, and they cause massive chaos. Right now, Mock is cleared for the triple with 45 seconds left to clean up. He's going to have to hop over a lot of walls to get it done. Either way, though, this 2-star in the high 80% will be enough for advancement by J.X. Tiger. Big boys will run amok, and I think that that is going to be a good attack in the end. Multi-target Inferno defending will deny the triple, it seems. But he got just far enough to wipe the sweat off his brow and to start to plan now for the grand finals, Judo.
Absolutely. He got a little bit unfortunate that the Archer Queen was locked on rather than one of the Super Witches or even the big boys. If the Archer Queen had have stayed alive, I think he would have got the 3-star here, but he did what was needed. The 2-star, 81% was all required. J.X. Tiger